buy a mask that can cover both your faces.
Today, double Housewives trouble in Beverly Hills. Myra and Luce make nice in the Lone Star State, but for how long?
I was just trying to call Myra, but I think she blocked me.
And it's a brand new season of America's Got Talent.
I heard you and I felt you, and that was beautiful.
Thank you.
This is your reality check. Welcome, everybody. So glad you could join us on this Wednesday of Reality Check. I am Lyndsey Rodrigues, and we have got two awesome returning guests for you today. Joining me again, because we just couldn't get enough of her yesterday, is Summer House's Hannah Berner. She is back. And we also have reality TV producer Chris DeRosa, also back for some more fun. Guys, welcome. Welcome. I'm really glad. Of course, I'm just glad I didn't scare you off the first time. Basically, we are going to get started with our top 5 right now. Lots to dig into. At number 5, it's Luke P from The Bachelorette. He admitted that it's been hard to watch his on-camera behavior, you think? Yesterday on Instagram, Luke wrote, "I've learned a lot and I'm continuing to learn about my flaws as a man." So after seeing this little bit of self-awareness, do we empathize with him at all now?
Luke is corny. Luke is just telling people what they want to hear, just like he told her that he loves her after
within 2 seconds.
2 seconds. So Luke, I don't have time for you, unfollow.
Agreed. Chris?
Also, like, this is what being on TV is. You watch yourself and then you go, oh, that's what I did? Oh my God, I did that? Oh, that's what I looked like? Like, welcome to reality
You
television.
signed up for that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that is me after every episode of the show where I'm like,
same.
why did I wear that dress?
I'm like, why does my voice sound like that?
Yeah, why am I from Australia?
That'll go away eventually.
You gave me this job. At number 4, it is NBC's newest music competition show, Songland, that debuted last night, and it focuses on songwriting. So each week, it'll feature a guest artist that the writers will pitch original songs to, and the winning song will be recorded for international release, which is pretty cool. Guest artists include the Jonas Brothers, John Legend, Charlie Puth, and Meghan Trainor. So what do you guys think? Will this show be the next big thing?
I actually think it's a really good idea, and I
original.
think that more and more we are getting more into how the songs are made. And like, I know so many more music producers than I ever did when I was younger.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
true.
I think that like having that kind of aspect of it, like people that are super into music, I personally am not as deeply into it, but people, my friends that are really into music, like they're like, oh, they worked with this producer and they did that, and this person was writing it, and this person.
There's like a prestige to it.
Yeah, it's like I think that there's like definitely a need for that there wasn't before.
Yeah, Hannah?
I'm afraid that they're just wanting the next thing because American Idol and The Voice has been done. So they're kind of reaching, but if it's done well, I might sleep through it.
I honestly thought you were going to say, if it's done well, I might sleep with John Legend. And I was like, girl, if you beat me to it.
I would never disrespect Chrissy like that.
That's
though,
right. I mean, that's.
I love his voice.
Yes. Well, at number 3, it brings us to San Antonio, Texas, where Myra and Luce finally meet up to hash out differences after episodes of mounting tension. We'll definitely be talking about this a little bit later in the show. But real quick, how long do we think this little ceasefire is going to last?
I think, I don't know, it seemed like from the beginning of the show they didn't really like each other, so that's kind of like not something that's drummed up because of the show. So I think it'll be very easily turned around.
Okay.
And we'll be fighting again.
Hannah, do you have a timeline?
Yeah, I think if two people don't like each other, just having a couple words is not going to fix the fact that they don't like each other's faces.
Well, definitely more on that to come a little bit later on. But at number 2, in the season 14 premiere of America's Got Talent, 22-year-old singer and pianist Cody Lee, who is blind and autistic, you guys, he earned the first golden buzzer, giving him an express ticket to the Midsummer Live show and giving me all of the feels. Were either of you able to watch this without just collapsing into a puddle of tears?
I cried while I watched it.
Yeah.
And it was actually, and not that that's something I'd cry about everything, so it's
you?
actually very easy for
I
me to
don't have
cry.
a soul. I don't
but-
cry about anything.
Oh no, I'm easily brought to tears about things like this. And this was, it was beautiful. It was amazing. His voice was insane. I could take a million years of voice lessons and I'd never sound anything like him. It was amazing.
It was such a moment. Hannah?
I love these earnest, beautiful moments on TV that actually give you good feeling, and I had goosebumps everywhere. He's an incredible talent. I'm jealous of him, and I can't wait to see what happens with him.
I mean, he's just so amazing. He's blind and autistic, and he can do that. Like, when I'm hungover, I'm like, I'm cancel everything. I can't do a thing. And he's like, just
Also, it's
killing
hard for anyone to find their passion, so the fact that this kid who's blind has seen seen what he wants to do for the rest of his life is incredible.
I know, I cannot wait to see where the adventure takes him. And that brings us to number 1, Kim and Lisa Rinna going head to head at Kyle's daughter's 30th birthday party, which we are going to dig into a little bit later in the show, but it brings us perfectly to our first topic of conversation, which is, of course, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because we saw the ladies last night heading home after Camille's wedding, and almost immediately trouble began to brew thanks to a People magazine article. Whoopsies.
She's basically saying Lisa Vanderbilt encouraged me to take a leap of faith on this journey. She could have warned us at the breakfast we just had.
You say one thing to us, and then you go and say that. I don't trust somebody who talks out of both sides of their mouth.
All right, so how can Camille expect the other women to trust her if she is talking out of both sides of her mouth the way that Lisa said?
I'll just start with the fact that this was a divine episode of television.
It
Can we
was-
just
it
talk
was a
about
fun
that
one.
very
It was a
quickly?
fun one.
They can't trust her, but at the same time, it's like, have they ever been able to really trust her in this show? I know that she was kind of painted a villain at the very beginning of the show, somewhat to her own doing, but somewhat not. But she will talk about whoever's not there, basically. That's what we've seen from her this season, and so why would they trust her?
Yeah, but then she goes to them and says, well, now that I've had a chance to get to know you, I like you a little bit more now, and then 5 minutes later, it's sort of back to that old behavior. So Hannah, do you think there is a way for her to forge a path forward and actually develop a proper friendship with these women?
I think she's messy, and I think it makes great TV because you never know what she's gonna say about anyone, and it keeps me on the edge of my seat. So you know what, Camille? You keep talking, girlfriend. You talk from every side of your mouth.
She's bringing out the New York accent. Well, let's move on to Farroween, because what a way for Kyle's daughter to celebrate her 30th birthday. Mine was literally in the back alley of a place called King's Cross in Australia. It wasn't, but it was at a bar called The Passage, and I think that says it all. And everyone went all out with their costumes on this episode. Now, personally, Lisa showing up as Erica Jane, she gets my vote for both originality and execution, but I'm curious as to who you each thought was the best dressed.
Lisa killed it. I mean, she killed it. But we saw her, she had Instagrammed it, I think, on Halloween. We had seen that she was going to do it. I wasn't surprised. But
she is now?
She destroyed it. Yeah, she killed it.
She kind of looks like Fergie.
And she was in character the whole time.
She
that
was in
the other
character the
thing,
whole
yeah.
time. How did you like?
I love Rinna with long hair. I think she looks so hot because
Yeah.
she's had the same do for so long. Whenever she does it, it blows my mind. She dressing up as your friend is always a good choice, and it'll always make someone laugh.
Yeah.
Hands down, Rinna.
But what was cool is that she didn't do it in a mean way, like, oh, I'm going as you.
No, she
Yeah, yeah.
glorified
Yeah.
it.
It was
Yeah.
to honor her.
It was
Yeah, it was like a
iconic.
celebration.
And I'm sorry, but 3 of them were cats. Let's
know.
guys.
I was
come
really
on, do better.
I know.
Do better.
better.
Do better.
Be best.
Yeah.
I also really want to give a shout out though to Teddy's husband, because as the Joker, there were certain shots where he looks so much like Jared Leto from Suicide Squad that I was like, what's Jared Leto doing there? Oh, no, it's Teddy's husband. So honorable mention goes to him. Well, the party certainly had all the makings of a rager. It had scares, it had booze, it had a Ferris wheel, and of course, it had drama.
I'm not even hearing anything but see you next Tuesday. Okay. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding?
That was uncalled for.
Actually, I feel it was inappropriate. It was. And it was rude.
Okay, so instead of Bravo having their tagline be "Watch what happens," can they please just change it to "See you next Tuesday"? Because everyone says that on these shows.
Yeah, but James is gonna want to get 10%.
Oh,
Yeah, he
God.
is.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
just leave that be. All right, well, that was Kim's reaction that you just saw after Lisa Rinna spoke up in a very bold way, but she said that she was in the character of Erica Jane. Did she go too far?
No, I mean, yes, just because she accosted someone, but no, because she wanted to probably bring it up because they haven't they haven't spoken. Even whenever she waved to her earlier in the season, Kim was like, what? And
Right.
looked away, and they kind of weren't together. They really wanted to not be together.
Right.
So I think it was an easy way for her to start that conversation without just being the usual reality TV show. I'd like to just talk to you alone. Would you
Yeah.
like to-
That's true. I mean, it was an original way of bringing it to the forefront.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I speak to you for a second? Can I
Yeah,
steal you
yeah.
Can you-
for a
yeah,
second?
it's always, can I steal
I think
you?
it was a little immature, but that's what makes it good, and I'm immature, so I can't judge her.
But also, you're not
Would you do
immature.
it the same way? Would you do the same thing?
Yeah.
But also, Kim seemed to take offense. She was like, how dare she bring beautiful Erica Jane into this by saying that she's in the character. So it didn't seem to sit well with Kim. But, we did see them have a nice moment towards the end of the episode where it seems like they were able to come to some kind of truth. So how long do we think that is going to last for?
Not long.
They're planting a seed for a bigger explosion in the future, I think.
Well,
think so.
I'm excited to see how that unravels. I'm excited to see the reunion. And will LVP be there? We don't know. You got to watch this space. Right now, though, we do have to take a break. When we come back, though, we're going to play a little game that we just came up with today. So make sure you stick around. It's going to be fun. Welcome back. We are still in Housewife land, and I thought that Hannah, Chris, and I could play a game that we have dubbed The Most. I don't know if you caught that little arm movement, but it was something like this. So and there's the graphic. Look at that. We just came up with that today. So I'm going to pose a question to you guys, and the challenge here is to choose which Beverly Hills housewife you think would be most appropriate for that situation. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready to be the most?
Yes.
I just have big hands today.
Does Kim really, clarification, is Kim Richards in this now since we saw her creeping into the testimonials?
You know what? You can, yes.
I
Kim,
think we can.
Yeah, we
right?
can include Kim, for sure.
Okay, good.
All right, so look, we all agree that Lisa Rinna was the most at the Farroween party, but who is the most hilarious?
Rinna.
Rinna?
Yeah.
Not-
I think she's the funniest.
Oh, okay. Hannah?
I think LVP is the funniest. I love her witty, dry humor.
Yes.
And I also
Again, because you love the Brits.
I love British people. I also think Erica Jane, everything she does cracks me up.
What about Denise?
She's funny, but in a different way.
She's funny in like a real and a cool way, not a laugh at her.
Not in like a
Yeah,
type
yeah,
5. What's the deal with
Yeah, like I actually want to like chill with Denise, whereas like the rest of them, like not so much.
Okay.
Like Denise gives me cool, calming energy, where like Erica Jane is so ridiculous that I'll laugh at anything she does. And
Yeah.
LVP, she's more funny on Vanderpump actually. She's kind of extreme.
Well, because she's always dealing with all that.
Yeah, when she talks to them like they're all little toddlers. It's funny
which
to me.
sometimes they are. Okay, well, who would you say is the most shady? I feel like there needs to be dramatic music here.
Yeah, there's like dun dun dun.
I'm gonna honestly, I'm gonna throw jabs. I think Dorit.
You think Dorit?
I think I don't trust her. I don't trust someone who has that many hairstyles in one day. It's like she's hiding something.
Okay.
And I'll never trust her.
It's like her hair is full of secrets.
Exactly.
Also, Dorit, like we get that you shop at Chanel, like we get it.
Yeah.
Like it's been all season, like we understand that you can afford Chanel.
I know, but I
Thank
really
you
want those
so much.
earrings.
Oh, they're
I
gorgeous.
can't afford them,
Oh,
though.
gorgeous, but it's like we get it.
Yeah.
I would want to say Dorit, but then I also think Camille. But then I don't
I
even like want to consider her. I'm like, I don't.
You don't consider her a housewife? You don't think that she's sort of being primed to take over from LVP?
No, God no.
Hell no?
God no.
Okay, interesting.
No.
Oh, here's my favorite. Who would you most not want to meet in a back alley? Not the same one where I had my 30th birthday.
I'm gonna say Camille. She freaks me out.
Why?
She always looks like she's plotting, and she opens her eyes a little too big. Not Ramona big, but too big that I'm confused.
It's there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't trust her.
She doesn't blink a whole lot. That kind of works.
That's what it is. She doesn't blink.
Like the Theranos lady. She doesn't blink a ton either. Anyway, that's a whole different show.
I want to say, oh, this is a hard one. I'll agree with you. I say Camille. I'll say
Okay.
Camille.
All right, Camille, don't be hanging out those back alleys anymore. Who is most likely to throw you a banging divorce party?
I'm gonna say Denise. I think that she would have like mozzarella sticks and beer and just be like, forget dudes, and then we'll just be like shaking our butts and doing like pretend dances out of the water. I don't know. I feel like she's a girl's girl and she's cool and she's like, I've been divorced and it worked out.
She gets it. She gets it. I mean, she's had hookers over to her house
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving. She knows.
She's someone that you know that you would just get like obliterated drunk with, and it'd be the most, and not like in a bad way, like it would be the most fun you've ever had in your life.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I would definitely. I think I'm going to agree with you. I hate to sort of agree and have it be all too rosy, but yeah, Denise would be my pick too.
But Kyle's party planner, Glenn, would throw the best party ever, and I love Glenn. So.
But he doesn't count. He's not a
He doesn't
housewife.
count.
But she would hire him, so like by de facto,
I
feel
think the
like,
dream team of
Yes,
them.
yeah.
All right, now I just really want to get divorced. Got to get married first. Anyway, we're going to take another quick break, but on the other side, Chris, Hannah, and I are going to talk about all of the chisme on last night's Texicanas. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the show. Hannah Berner from Summer House and reality TV producer Chris DeRosa are still with me. You guys doing okay?
We're having a great time.
I will sit here and talk with you all day.
Yay!
Yes, 100%.
Well, look, you're a returning guest, and I hope that you'll continue to be a returning
I
guest.
slept here last night.
She did, you guys. It's true. All right, now it is time to head over to San Antonio, Texas, so we can spice things up and talk all things Texicanas. Now, the main storyline so far has revolved around the argument between Luz and Mayra. It all started with Luz calling Mayra anal, and then Mayra tapping her on the head, quite lightly, I might add. And then it all got really crazy from there. So last night, we finally saw them sit down to hash it out.
You box? Seriously? And you touched me. Seriously?
Touching somebody is assault. That is, I've looked it up.
Really? Assault? Are you serious?
I'm
are
not
you
saying-
trying to intimidate me once again? Or?
No.
I love them both, but come on, is Luz just being a little cray-cray saying it's assault?
Yeah, throwing that assault word just made the situation like so much more intense.
Right?
And part of assaulting is like hurting someone. So like me giving him a nice hug would never be an assault.
Yeah,
But like, what if you tapped him on the head? Do it to him.
Assault?
Assault?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's hard. It's hard because, like, at the end of the day, like, should you be touching people that don't want to be touched? No, but at the same time, like, this is a little blown out of proportion. Like, are you actually going to sue her for assault?
Like,
You're not.
I
we
live
know
in
that
New
you're
York
not.
City. If every time someone I didn't like touched me and
You'd
I
always
claimed assault, I would
Yeah.
just be in the police office all day, and that's not how life needs to be lived.
That's true. I mean, I got assaulted 7 times on the subway just on the way here. You know, it's crazy times. Well, look, over on Twitter, the KO Queen definitely thought it was a bit outrageous, and she wrote this. Luz trying to be this tough-ass bitch, but the first one to claim assault, so lame, LMAO.
Ooh, throwing the B word, I love it.
Well, I think because, you know, Luz does say, like, oh, I'm a badass, but like that's...
She's like, she like is a boxer, right?
She's a boxer.
Like, yeah, she's like hardcore.
Which is why I think people were a bit like, okay, you literally punch people in the face for, you know, for fun, and then that's gonna trigger you? I don't know. But speaking of being triggered, do you think that Luz now understands why Mayra was so triggered by being called anal? Because she opened up last night about her perfectionist childhood and how rough her parents were on her.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of one of those things where these are all things that they're fighting about, but it's like none of these things actually are really what they're fighting about, and they've yet to like be on TV long enough to know like, let me let that one slide, and I'll just like keep that in the back pocket for when I need to use it.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like making that be the storyline.
Yes.
And I don't need them to do that. Like, I want to see them like, what are your real issues with each other? Because it's not because someone called you anal one time.
No, but
know what I mean, right?
But I do like that she opened up about some of her struggles, because that's what makes reality TV good, unless if you walk around acting like you're fake all the time. So good for her for opening up, being real. I respect that.
Yeah, she was on the show a couple of weeks ago, actually, and she was so lovely and very open and vulnerable. So I have a lot of love for Mayra, but it seems like their meeting did come to an end on a peaceful note.
I think we started way off the wrong foot. Maybe we can...
I really look forward to it.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
I'd like to say that it lasted, but that would be too easy. And with this group of friends, nothing is easy.
So you just heard Penny there suggesting that this will be very short-lived, so something's bound to bubble up there. But meanwhile, the tensions are building between Mayra and Carla. Take a look.
I feel like you're coming in a really intense place right now. Like, I don't feel like you're, like, coming at Mayra, fun, let's have a conversation. I feel like you're coming with, like, let's battle.
Okay, so what do you suggest that I do?
So Penny said that a fight is brewing between these two because Mayra doesn't feel that Carla has had her back. But do you think she's being unreasonable, expecting Carla to get involved in a fight that kind of has nothing to do with her?
That one's always hard. I feel like it's sometimes there's like, I just don't want to be involved. You two can handle your business. I don't need to randomly insert myself in this when I have no dog in the fight, quote unquote.
Right.
But like, at the same time, it's like you want your friend to be behind you. You want your friend to back you up. So it's hard.
Well, what do you think, Hannah? Because you've had experiences similar to this on Summer House.
Yeah, it's hard because if you're in a fight with someone, you don't want to also start a fight with your friend. So I feel like you have to choose your battles very wisely, because the worst thing that could happen is your friend turns on you, and then it's 1 versus 2.
Yeah. So, well, we'll have to see how it plays out. We're only halfway through this season, so there's plenty of drama to come, that is for sure. Right now, though, we are going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll be getting misty-eyed with our reality TV history moment, so get those tissues ready, and we'll see you in a second. Welcome back to the show. I'm still here with Summer House's Hannah Berner and reality TV producer Chris DeRosa. All right, guys, I said get the tissues ready before the break. No one brought them to us, so I'm just going to have to use my dress. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm DTC, down to cry.
Down to cry, I love that. Okay, well, we started a new tradition yesterday, as you know, Hannah, because you were here, where we look back in time at iconic moments in reality TV, and today we are taking a trip back to the first ever season of American Idol.
The winner of American Idol 2002 is...
In 2002, 20-year-old cocktail waitress Kelly Clarkson was voted the very first winner of American Idol.
Kelly Clarkson.
Kicking off our nearly 2-decade-long love affair with the show.
You are the American Idol.
Since that iconic moment, 16 more winners have been crowned, but I think it's safe to say Idol fans will never forget their first. I have so much to say. First of all, the hair.
Insane.
The hair. Second of all, Kelly. I am obsessed with her, and I just remember that moment so clearly. And then she had to sing a moment like this, and she couldn't get through it because she was crying like I'm about to.
Still a great song, by the way.
Still a great song.
Still a banger.
What are your recollections from that time?
This was the first time we saw that rags to riches, but we had no idea that she would become as iconic as she is even to this day.
Yes.
She was a hotel waitress.
I know.
It's insane. She must have just been like humming, giving people food, and now all of America is just so astounded by her voice.
Yes.
She was that girl, like you knew that girl. Like when you looked at her, like you knew that girl. She was like, she had a good voice, but she was like, again, a waitress. She was kind of like almost like a Sookie Stackhouse in a True Blood, beginning of True Blood. She's like that waitress that's really cute. And then she like, you know, she gets on the microphone and she blows everyone out of the water.
I know.
She was the front runner of the whole competition.
Also, Justin knew she deserved it and was so happy for her.
Yes, they had a nice friendship.
And together, we were just happy for both of them. And I don't think anyone has ever been as great of an American Idol as Kelly.
I agree. Yeah, Kelly, we love you today and always. Well, that is it for today. Chris and Hannah, I couldn't have asked for a better two people to come and hang out with me today. Thank you. You're going to come back again, right?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having us again.
Anytime. Well, make sure you join us tomorrow because we're going to have B. Lashes from MTV's Double Shot at Love in the studio. And we'll also be chatting the challenge in Real Housewives of New York. I am Lyndsey Rodrigues. I'll check you tomorrow. Let's keep talking about Kelly because I always cut myself.